Right, but I want to talk about KOBBIE MAINOO potentially £70 million exit, some other interesting updates on Garnacho and much more. So let's get straight into it now. Cashing in on either KOBBIE MAINOO and Garnacho remains a serious option for United this summer. MAINOO is understood to be entertaining the idea of seeking a move away from the club, with the youngster yet to put pen to paper on a new contract. Amorim is not completely convinced KOBBIE MAINOO has the fitness levels to be a success in this system. The club would therefore reluctantly sell for offers of around £70 million. Now, listen, with KOBBIE MAINOO, for me, he's a really important player for Manchester United. He's a player for me who, again, listen, there's been loads of talks about him potentially leaving all summer, even since January for PSR. Now, Amorim and Ratcliffe have openly backed and said they do not want to sell KOBBIE MAINOO. They want to keep him at the club for as much as they can. They won't sell him just for PSR rules. Now, £70 million does probably seem about the right valuation. I mean, you look what he's done so far in his United career, FA Cup winner. Still only 19 or 20, I believe. So, again, still a young up-and-coming talent. Now, I would not sell KOBBIE MAINOO at any cost. I understand he may not have the fitness to be probably number 6. But I think he does have the quality and the technical ability to be a very, very good number 10 in that system. He was slowly starting to develop, and I think it's just paper talk, to be honest. As I said, it's been linked all summer about them two potentially leaving Manchester United. Now, I think MAINOO will definitely stay. I think a new contract is close to being agreed. I think it's just a negotiation tactic. Again, I don't think he actually wants to leave Manchester United. But again, Amorim not being convinced. I mean, when MAINOO was fit, he was starting more or less every game. So that is an interesting stat in itself. But I think with MAINOO, I think the main concern is United just don't have any money at the moment. They're willing to sell anyone at this point to get money. I mean, we've seen Bruno Fernandes being linked to Real Madrid for £90 million. There is a ridiculous of things going on in terms of selling players at the moment. But on MAINOO, I think he'll stay at United. I'm pretty convinced. I mean, I think the injury has massively affected him, the one before this one, and you can see it is affecting his performance. But I do think he's the perfect player for Manchester United, definitely in that number 6 or even in that number 10 position, where he has that ability to be closer to goal and really have an impact on the game in the final third. Now, the next thing, Alejandro Garnacho can leave United in the next window. Ruben can't to him, but prefers other players in the position. And I think that is right on Garnacho. There are players better suited to this position than Alejandro Garnacho at the moment. He's a player who, for me, is starting to develop. Amorim's learning more how to utilise these sorts of players. Again, he's a young technical player, someone who's good on the ball, quick. Again, very versatile. But again, when he first came in, they were concerned of whether Amorim and Garnacho, or whether Garnacho would actually fit into the system. I think if you look at Garnacho's game so far at United, it has developed so much. Again, he's had to learn how to play that inside role. And I do actually think he's a pretty key player. Now, if you look at Garnacho, again, another player there's been a lot of talk about leaving. He's 20 years old, got a lot of goals and assists for United. I think he's got, 17 this season, which again is a decent number, or 15, something like that. Very, very good on the ball, very quick, very versatile. And I think the main concern with him, if you sell him, he could probably go on to be a £70-80 million player. And that's what would be the huge concern if I was Manchester United. No doubt they may be concerned over the system, but he's one of those players who you look at the moment. He's not Yamal levels, but he's in and around that category of being one of the better players. So for me, I'd look at keeping him right now. Under 20, got very, very good potential. And again, we need all the players we can get. I mean, Antony's going to go. I got up there on that. Sancho's going to go. Rashford's going to go. So again, it would be very difficult to let 3 go and Garnacho and then bring in the viable replacements. Now on Antony, Manchester United are confident they will be able to sell Antony for £40 million this summer after his Spanish renaissance. Atletico Madrid, as well as several Italian clubs, are monitoring his revival. Now obviously it was very good for Antony. He's doing very well at Betis at the moment. He's a very, very technical player. He's doing well for them. I've seen a lot of the fans are happy with him. Now obviously that's the good part of the loan. It gives you the opportunity to get in the shop window and put yourself out there on the market, and that's something certainly Antony has done. Again, he's one of those players who just hasn't had it cut out for United. 40 million would probably be good, a good price. Yes, we're not going to make a profit on him, but again, it'd be good money that you can reinvest, and also opens the space for someone like a Mantato, Maybe obviously not in the same position, but a Chidiobi or someone like that to come through. And that would be absolutely perfect. I think that does make a lot of sense to do that. Antony's one of those players who at one time it looked very difficult to move on, but he had a good performance at Betis. But let me know your thoughts.